I just feel like I'm back in control and aligned with who I really am. So both of my boys were diagnosed with an extremely rare metabolic condition back in 2010. It causes seizures and varying degrees of disabilities, both intellectually and physically. With the boys' condition, that caused PTSD in me, that was a lot of chronic worry, chronic stress, fear for the future, and a lot of anxieties on a day-to-day basis. My eldest son passed away in 2016. He also had ADSL deficiency, and he was just 9.5 years old when he passed away. He's still my greatest teacher. So many lessons I learn on a daily, weekly basis from the experience of having him here. Obviously, his passing triggered so much in me. I had a lot going on. I was growing my business, was studying, I was raising my son, who's also got special needs. My life was pretty full on, and I thought there was something wrong with me. I felt like my wheels were spinning, but I was going nowhere. I was anxious about things. I had a lot of fear or indecisiveness, and why couldn't I keep it all together? Why can't I stay focused? Why can't I stay on task? Why can't I achieve my goals? Like I was a pretty highly motivated person before. I felt like I was in absolute self-destruction. But it was really profound when I learned that there wasn't anything wrong with me per se. It was the results of trauma and what that does to a person. So trauma to me feels like an empty pit inside my stomach. It was something that I just felt like I needed to fill. I just needed to fill it. And I was filling it with unhealthy foods, trying to cope, I suppose, with my trauma, my grief and my loss for my son, as well as the anxiety around my son that was living as well. I think I'm usually a pretty positive person, but I was really scared I'd never get my life back on track. I'd spent 7 years doing all this work on myself, and then I heard a lot about the neurofeedback in the books that I was reading as I was studying counselling and trauma release exercises. And then they were talking about how, neurofeedback can help people with PTSD and things like that. And I thought, well, I'm going to give this a go. And so then I started looking for someone local, and that was Steve.
It's been amazing working with Natalie and her son to support them in their change process. People just sit in a nice comfortable chair, often with a blanket. We connect the sensors up, which measure electrical activity, and there's feedback, which is in the form of an interrupt in the music, which brings the brain back to present. And that's what supports the brain to process information more efficiently and to self-optimise or self-correct.
And a couple of days later, I just noticed just little things. Got up and I just went straight into my morning routine rather than ruminating over what I was going to do for the day. I wasn't so stuck in loops. It was a really lovely experience, just so relaxing. I love it. I do it now probably at least 3 times a week.
People go on to train regularly. They just notice that they become more resilient, more adaptable, more flexible. And in this world, it's really important to be flexible and resilient.
I thought, well, if these are little changes in me that I can see, I wonder how it would work with my son. So we trialled 3 months with him. I could see the changes in him pretty much from the first 2 sessions. I could see all of a sudden he was starting to look up and around in his surroundings now, making eye contact, smiling. It was like he was becoming more socially engaged in his environment. That's all I wanted was to, just to see him smile. Little things are the blessings. Yeah, and a lot more giggles come out of him too. So the more sessions I do with him, the more relaxed he is. Even from the seizures that he has, we can see that they've reduced in frequency and they've reduced in the intensity of the seizures as well.
What I love about the system, firstly, is it supports people's brains to self-correct. So we're not pushing the brain in any particular direction. We're just giving it pure information and the brain will do what it will need to do with it.
Some of the changes that I've noticed in me have been quite profound, particularly around just being a lot more confident. I feel like I'm in a lot more positive place, a lot more self-aware. I don't procrastinate half as much. I'm just getting so much more done. I'm so much more productive with less overwhelm, which is huge. The unhealthy foods that I was eating and craving, I just don't crave anymore. I spent 7 years working on myself to get myself through the effects of PTSD, and the biggest changes in my life have been in the last 9 months since I've started neurofeedback. It's not just about me, it's about helping everyone else, and that's what I do. In my day-to-day job is I help other people and connect with their bodies, and everything that I've learnt and everything that I do and everything that I teach is all around the experiences that I've had. I love the results that we had over the 3 months that we trialled the Neuroptimal system. I thought it's going to be great for my clients, and so I bought the unit here, and my clients they're privileged enough to be able to use it as well.
The lovely thing about this system is it doesn't matter what age you are, what condition you have, because the reality is we're training people, not conditions.
I've experienced a lot of benefits from Neuroptimal. I really wish that I'd found it sooner, and I really wish I'd found it sooner for my son.